Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of Learn French with Madame. Aujourd'hui, on va parler au sujet du monde du travail. So today we're going to talk about the workforce, the workplace, things that you might need in order to describe your job, applying for a job, how to say that you've been hired or fired or you're unemployed, talk about your salary, how to write formal letters, and also how to handle phone calls in a workplace or an office setting. Before we get going on to the actual vocab for today, I did want to put a little plug in there. My goal of making these videos is to make sure that everybody has access to free learning of French. And so by liking videos and subscribing to the channel, that helps boost my channel so people can see it all across YouTube. And then people can just click and scroll and say, hey, look, I want to learn French today. And so it helps share my channel with everybody else. And so that way everybody can learn French together. So if you wouldn't mind liking the video and subscribing to my channel, I would appreciate it. So that way everyone can learn French. OK? Donc, on y va. On commence avec dans un cabinet. We'll start with in an office, dans un cabinet. Donc, le premier mot de vocabulaire, c'est un entretien. Un entretien et une entrevue. Un entretien, une entrevue. I say it, you say it. Un entretien. Très bien. Une entrevue. Excellent. And we're talking about an interview. So if you wanted to say, I have an interview, you would say, going back to French one, j'ai un entretien or j'ai une entrevue. Either one works. They both mean an interview. An interview. Okay? La société is referring to the workforce of where you're at, the workplace as a whole, so the company. La société, the company. La société où je travaille est très grand. The company that I work for is very big. Il n'y a pas de société. There's no company. But that's what we're talking about is the company. I say it, you say it. La société. Très bien, très bien. OK? Et le dernier mot pour cette slide, c'est un emploi. Un emploi. Ploi. It's kind of a hard word to say because your mouth is doing something that you're not used to. So, ploi. Emploi. I say it, you say it. Un emploi. Très bien, très bien. And it means a job. So to say that you have a job, you could say j'ai un emploi. To say you don't have a job, je n'ai pas d'emploi. Il a un emploi. Est-ce qu'il y a un emploi? Is there a job? Or you could say, I have an interview for a job. J'ai un entretien pour un emploi. I have an interview for a job. And then you can be more specific as we get going on with some higher vocab. OK? Donc, on continue. Avoir de l'expérience. Avoir de l'expérience. We should be able to figure out what this word is saying just based off context of what we've learned in previous levels of French. Most of the kids watching this video should be in levels 3, 4, or 5. So we'll see, we'll know that we have seen those words all before with avoir meaning to have and de l'expérience looking like its word in English to have experience. Très bien. Avoir de l'expérience. I say it, you say it. Avoir de l'expérience. Excellent. Aussi, le prochain mot, il y a débutant ou débutante, débutant or débutant. If you break down this word and you've heard of a debut is when something is coming out, which means that it is new or it is a beginner. So if somebody is new at something, they're making their debut into it. So I'll try to link that word to something that might make sense for you in English. So I say it, you say it, débutant. Très bien. Diriger. Diriger is, there's not really a word to help you out with figuring this one out. Diriger is one of those words in French that you just kind of have to memorize because there's not really any clue that can help you out. But diriger is the verb to lead, or to like be in charge of. So diriger, if you were the boss of a company, you could say je dirige La société. I run the company or I lead the company. Diriger, diriger. I say it, you say it. Diriger. Très bien, très bien. OK? Une durée de. Can we figure out and take a guess what une durée de might mean? A duration of. Hopefully that's what we got. Oh no, I went backwards. Okay, that's all right. L'architecture, that's patio. We can see what that means in English. It looks like the English word l'architecture. I say it, you say it, l'architecture. Très bien, the architecture. Une petite annonce or une annonce is the word to say an advertisement or an ad. Une petite annonce can add. You don't always have to have the petit in there, but sometimes you can put it, sometimes you don't have to. It just kind of depends on what you want to talk about. Did you have a big ad or was it a small newspaper ad? Une petite annonce, une annonce. I say it, you say it, une annonce. Très bien. Une durée de, we already talked about that one. Une durée de, the duration of, or j'ai travaillé dans un restaurant pour une durée de 3 mois. I worked in a restaurant for a duration of 3 months. You can also use this to talk about internships, which we are going to talk about soon, to ask if there are internships available for a duration of X amount of time. Okay? On continue avec à propos d'un emploi. So about a job, talking about a job. We have un apprentissage and un stage. An apprentissage and stage. Apprentissage should ring a bell for an English word. Looks like the English word apprenticeship or apprentice. When somebody is an apprentice or they have an apprenticeship, they have an internship. So, un apprentissage, un stage, an internship, an apprenticeship, c'est la même chose. I say it, you say it. Un apprentissage. Très bien. Et un stage. Excellent, excellent. Très bien. Être au chômage, être au chômage, être au chômage is a fun word to say, but not necessarily a fun word to be. Être au chômage is the word to be unemployed, to be unemployed. So if you wanted to say I am unemployed, you could say je suis au chômage. Je suis au chômage. Make sure you make that liaison between the suis and the o. So je suis au chômage instead of saying je suis au chômage, because otherwise it makes you sound a little bit more fluent if you have that liaison in there. Okay? Obtenir is a verb that we have already learned before in all of our previous French lessons. So obtenir is the verb to get or to gain, to get or to gain, as in like obtaining something. Say it, you say it. Obtenir. Très bien, très bien. OK. On continue avec un salaire. Un salaire, c'est facile. C'est presque comme en anglais. It's almost like in English. I say it, you say it. Un salaire. Très bien. And it means a salary. A salary. Et quand on a un salaire, when we have a salary, on gagne de l'argent. On gagne de l'argent. Gagner de l'argent is the phrase to say to earn money. To earn money. Donc, je gagne de l'argent pour mon emploi. I earn money for my job. To say that you earn money or you have a paid job that way. Un travail is a job or a work. Un travail à temps plein is a full-time job. And un travail à temps partiel is a part-time job. So un travail à temps plein, un travail à temps partiel. So we have a full-time job or a part-time job. Donc, mon travail, c'est un travail à temps très plein. It's a very full-time job being a teacher. So, mais mon mari, il a aussi un travail à temps plein, mais il ne travaille des heures supplémentaires. That des heures supplémentaires is a word that's going to pop up in our slides here in a second too. OK. On continue avec être engagé. Être engagé, to be hired. Être engagé, to be hired. Le est la secrétaire, secretary, le ou la secrétaire. Et être licencié is to be laid off. Malheureusement, j'étais licencié. Unfortunately, I was laid off. Aussi, faire des heures supplémentaires. So to work overtime. Literally, this looks like extra hours because supplémentaire means supplementary, and then is hours. So supplementary hours, extra hours is overtime. So let's start in the top left and we'll work our way clockwise around the circle to start repeating those words. Après moi, after me. I say it, you say it. Être engagé. Très bien. Être licencié. Excellent. Faire des heures supplémentaires. Très bien. That last word, supplémentaire. If you're struggling with that word because it's a longer word, supplémentaire. It helps to break it down and make sure that you're comfortable saying it when you're broken it down and then speeding it up eventually. Le ou la secrétaire. I say it, you say it. Le secrétaire. Très bien. And we're not going to say the feminine because I know that you know how to say la, so we don't have to go through and say that one more time. So, moving on, il y a une conversation téléphonique. Une conversation téléphonique. So, a phone conversation. A phone conversation. Starting off with our first word, we have allo, allo. I say it, you say it, allo. Très bien. Allo is the French way of saying hello, because when we answer the phone, we say hello. And in France, they don't say bonjour. They might, but most of the time they'll answer the phone and then say allo, like hello, anybody there? So I say it, you say it, allo. Très bien. Transférer l'appel. Using some context clues, we know that we're talking about a phone conversation. If you look at that first word, transférer, what word might that look like in English? Transférer. To transfer. A l'appel, we are currently talking about it, a phone conversation, so a phone call, so a call because the verb appeler. So transférer l'appel is to transfer the call, to transfer the call. So transférer l'appel, to transfer the call. I say it, you say it. Transférer l'appel. Très bien. Répondre. This one we learned way, way back in French one. We've seen it pop up several times. Répondre. I say it, you say it. Répondre. Excellent. And what does that verb mean? Très bien. To respond. Appeler. Again, going back to French one. If someone says, je m'appelle, comment tu t'appelles, we are using that same verb that we have right here. Appeler is the verb to call, to call. I say it, you say it. Appeler. Très bien. Donc, est-ce que le verbe appeler conjugue normal? Does the verb appeler conjugate normally? Normalement? No, le verbe appeler, un changement has a change in its stem. If you didn't know that appeler has a stem change when you're conjugating it in the present tense. For new, it changes to A-P-P-E-L-L-E for je m'appelle. And then in the new in the vous form, so outside of that boot, it keeps that one L. Sans fi, moving on after our little petit leçon de grammaire, after our little grammar lesson. Sans fi. Sans fi is cordless. Cordless. Donc, j'ai un téléphone sans fi. I have a cordless phone. Fun fact, cordless phones were all the rage. They were all new. Everybody had a cord back then. Showing my age a bit. Passer, facile. Passer is to pass or to transfer. So passer literally means to pass, but when we're talking about phone conversations and things like that, we mean to transfer. So c'est même chose que transférer l'appel, mais ça veut dire passer en anglais aussi. So it means to pass in English, but when we're talking about a phone call conversation, it also means to transfer. OK? Donc, on va continuer. Je pense qu'on est presque fini. I think we are almost done. Une conversation téléphonique encore. So, still working on a phone conversation, but now we're going to talk about parts of the phone. Il y a un afficheur, which is the caller ID. Très bien, caller ID. An afficheur, caller ID. Also, I had another word up here and then I decided to take it out. So that's why my numbers go 1, 2, 4, 5. I promise I know how to count. I do have a master's degree. I just forgot to take out and change the numbers. Donc, oh, madame, tu as oublié. I forgot. J'ai oublié. Donc, numéro 2, la ligne est occupée. Occupée. La ligne est occupée. La ligne is the word for the line. So, la ligne. This also applies to like metro lines too. So, you'll say la ligne M, line M, when you're looking at a metro map and things like that. So la ligne est occupée. We're familiar with the verb occuper, with the word occuper too, because we've seen that several times already. Occupé, busy or occupied. So la ligne est occupée. The line is busy. I say it, you say it. La ligne est occupée. Très bien, très bien. La sonnerie is the ringer or ringing. La sonnerie, the ringer or ringing. The ringer or ringing. La sonnerie. I say it, you say it. La sonnerie. Très bien. Et le combine is what you actually hold. Le combine, the headset, or like the receiver, the handset, whatever you call it in English. I call it a receiver. Some people call it a handset, a headset. That's whatever, as long as you know that that's the part of the phone that you hold. So le combine. I say it, you say it. Le combine. Très bien, très bien. Okay. On continue avec au téléphone. So now we're going to talk about while being on the phone. On décroche. So we pick up. On décroche le téléphone quand il sonne. We pick up the phone when it rings. Mais on raccroche. We hang up le téléphone quand on est fini, when we are done. Donc, décrocher, to pick up, décrocher, to pick up, raccrocher, to hang up. So décrocher, raccrocher. It's kind of be a little bit hard to maybe remember both of those and what they mean because they are so very similar. But hopefully it might help you to know that we dial and dialing starts with the D, so you're picking up the phone to dial. That's hopefully my little trick to help you out there. So I say it, you say it. Décrocher. Très bien. Et aussi raccrocher. Excellente, excellente. OK? On continue avec est-ce que je pourrais parler à? Donc, maintenant, nous sommes au téléphone. So now we are on the phone. On a déjà décroché le téléphone. So we already picked up the phone. Et maintenant, je dis à la madame, we say to the woman, est-ce que je pourrais parler à Monsieur Pepper? Est-ce que je pourrais parler à Monsieur Pepper? May I speak to, or can I speak to so and so? May I speak with, etc., etc. I say it, you say it. Est-ce que je pourrais parler à? Excellent. Slow it down a little bit. Est-ce que je pourrais parler à? Très bien. Le deuxième boîte en dessous, underneath, est-ce que je peux laisser un message? Est-ce que je peux laisser un message? If we don't know what laisser means, we have already learned est-ce que je peux, which means may I. or can I? And then un message looks like its word in English, which is a message, and laisser is the verb to leave. So if we didn't know that laisser was the verb to leave, we could have gotten pretty close figuring out what that verb or what that sentence is in English. So if we got everything else except for to leave, may I a message, we could figure it out. That means may I am I able to leave a message? So can I leave a message or may I leave a message? Synonym shows. I say it, you say it. Est-ce que je peux? Très bien. Laissez un message. Excellent. Toute la phrase, the whole phrase. Est-ce que je peux laisser un message? Excellent. Aussi, je suis bien chez is asking for clarification, making sure that we are on the phone with the correct person. So, est-ce que je suis bien chez is talking about am I either A, at this person's house, or am I speaking with this correct person? So, est-ce que je suis bien chez Madame Mulvey? Am I talking to Madame Mulvey, or is this Madame Mulvey's house? Is a way to verify that you're talking with her at where you need to be. I say it, you say it. Je suis bien chez. Très bien. Excellent. Ça ne répond pas. Ça ne répond pas. I'm going to let you guess that one. We should be able to figure out what all that means without having to know officially what this vocab word is. So, using your very large brains, think back to all of your knowledge of French and tell me what you think ça ne répond pas might be. Okay. Votes are in. Let's see. Did we put no answer? There's no answer. Ça ne répond pas. There's no answer. Literally, it's saying it doesn't respond. And if there's no response, then there's no answer. So, ça ne répond pas. Ça ne répond pas. I say it, you say it. Ça ne répond pas. Très bien, très bien. Ne quittez pas. Ne quittez pas. Same thing. I want you guys to be able to guess. Use that past French knowledge and some inferences to take a guess as to what you think ne quittez pas might mean. Ne quittez pas. Okay, let's see if we put don't quit or hold on. You were correct. So literally it means don't quit, but we mean like don't quit the phone call. Hold on, because we're getting ready to transfer you. So ne quittez pas. Ne quittez pas. I say it, you say it. Ne quittez pas. Très bien, très bien. OK? Le prochain mot de vocabulaire, c'est je vous le ou la passe. Je vous le ou la passe. So je vous le passe, je vous la passe. That le or la is going to change based on who you are talking to. So if you are talking to a male, then you would put the le, but if you are talking to me, a female, you would put the la. And it's saying I will transfer you, or I'll put him on, I'll put her on. So if I wanted to say like I will put on if we're talking somebody's talking about me, they'll put me on the phone. So they'll say je vous la passe, I'll put her on. But also it can mean I will transfer you. So I say it, you say it, je vous le passe. Très bien, excellent. I'll put him on or I'll put her on, and we're talking about putting them on the phone call. Okay? On continue avec vous pouvez rappeler. So appeler is the verb to call. When I put that r sound in front of it, that r, what does that verb change to? Instead of to call, it changes to what? Call back. So vous pouvez rappeler. Can you call back? Vous pouvez rappeler. Can you call back? Vous pouvez rappeler. I say it, you say it. Vous pouvez rappeler. Très bien. Facile. Un instant, un moment. Facile. One moment. Hold on. Un instant, an instant. Un moment. One moment. Facile. Vous avez fait le mauvais numéro. Vous avez fait le mauvais numéro. You have the wrong number. Vous avez fait le mauvais numéro. Literally, it translates to you have done the wrong number, as in like you have dialed the wrong number. But we don't necessarily say that in English, and we just say wrong number or you have the wrong number. So you can shorten this too and just say mauvais numéro or mauvais numéro, wrong number, mauvais numéro. So I say it, you say it. Vous avez fait le mauvais numéro. You have the wrong number. Vous avez fait le mauvais numéro. Excellent. C'est de la part de qui? C'est de la part de qui? May I ask who's calling? C'est de la part de qui? C'est de la part de qui? I say it, you say it. C'est de la part de qui? Très bien. All right, that whole phrase all together. C'est de la part de qui? Très bien. Excellent. OK. Aussi, le dernier mot sur cette slide, c'est qui est à l'appareil? Qui est à l'appareil? Who is on the call or who is on the phone? May I ask who's calling? Qui est à l'appareil? So these two really mean the same thing. It's just asking it a different way. Can I ask who's calling? Who is on the phone? They're all trying to figure out the identity of somebody. So I say it, you say it. Qui est à l'appareil? Excellent. When I broke it down, I didn't put the liaison in between the A and the A with that accent grave. However, when you are speaking, in order to sound more fluent, you should add that liaison. So it becomes qui est à, qui est à, qui est à l'appareil, qui est à l'appareil. So I say it with that liaison, you say it with that liaison. On y va. Qui est à l'appareil? Très bien, très bien. OK, pour écrire une lettre, to write a letter, pour écrire une lettre, suite à notre conversation téléphonique, suite à notre conversation téléphonique on that left-hand side, suite à notre conversation téléphonique. Please make sure that you know, and already in French, that conversation, that T-I-O-N makes a sion sound. Conversation, not a conversation sound. Conversation. So, suite à notre conversation téléphonique, following our phone conversation, following our conversation on the phone, according to our phone conversation, that's what we're trying to get at. I say it, you say it. Suite à notre conversation téléphonique. Okay, let's break it down a little bit. Let's go line by line. So I say it, you say it. Suite à notre conversation téléphonique. Okay, and let's put a little bit more together. So let's do the first two lines and then the last one. Suite à notre conversation téléphonique. OK, on y va. Très bien. En réponse à votre petite annonce du, we know all of those words, so I'm going to make you guess. En réponse à votre petite annonce du, in what? What is our answer? In response to your ad, en réponse à votre petite annonce. Do we have to add the petit in there? No. En réponse à votre annonce due, we can also get rid of the petit and just have votre annonce due. So, en réponse à votre annonce du travail, in response of your job app, like addition or ad, your want ad is the English word that I'm looking for. So, in response to your want ad about the job. En réponse à votre annonce or petite annonce due. I say it, you say it. En réponse à votre petite annonce. Très bien. Dans le cadre de ma formation, dans le cadre de ma formation, this literally translates to in the case of my like formation. If you think like education is forming who you are, then this might help you remember it. That we're talking about as part of my education, I need to do this. So, dans le cadre de ma formation, il faut étudier beaucoup. So, as part of my education, I have to study a lot. Je sais pas, peut-être, maybe. Dans le cadre de ma formation. Veuillez trouver ci-joint mon curriculum vitae, CV. Veuillez trouver ci-joint mon curriculum vitae. Mais en anglais, on dit résumé. In English, we say resume. Get out of the French accent there for a second. Resume instead of saying CV. But a lot of the time, though, you will say businesses put in ads CV in English. So make sure you check it out the next time that you're applying for a job. So veuillez trouver is basically a really formal way of saying please find, please find. So veuillez trouver ci-joint attached, mon CV. So please find my resume attached. Please find my resume attached. I say it, you say it. We're going to go slow. So repeat after me. Répétez après moi. Veuillez trouver ci-joint mon curriculum vitae. Très bien. Okay, this last one is long, but it's important. It's important to always sign your letter with this. So, je vous prie d'agréer, monsieur ou madame, l'expression de mes sentiments distingués. So, literally, it translates to I pray that you agree the expression of my distinguished sentiments, like all of my sincerest um, thanks and all of that stuff. So this is a very, very long way to say sincerely. Very, very long way to say sincerely. We can also, on peut aussi utiliser le mot sincèrement, sincèrement, sincerely, sincèrement, to sign the end of our letter. This is just a really formal way. If you're applying for a job, maybe you would use this, although this is a little bit of an older way to sign a letter too. Most of the time, you'd see people signing letters of interest with sincèrement to finish out their letter. So let's do this line by line to tackle this long beast. I say it, you say it. Je vous prie d'agréer l'expression de mes sentiments distingués. Très bien. All right, let's go a little bit faster. Je vous prie d'agréer l'expression de mes sentiments distingués. Très bien, très bien. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second. I'll say it one more time and then I'll pause. And then I want you guys to try and say that whole entire phrase all by yourself. Okay, so I'll say it, I'll pause while you say it, and then we'll get moving on. Okay, je vous prie d'agréer l'expression de mes sentiments distingués. Très bien. OK? Actuellement, so actually, c'est le fin de vocabulaire. It's the end of the vocab. Donc, si vous avez des questions, n'hésitez pas de m'envoyer un email ou laissez-moi un message. Laissez-moi un message si vous avez des questions. Donc, mais à ce moment, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. À plus!